This is the Russian Dynamite, Masha Slamovich.
Becca here.
This is not America's sweetheart, Damian.
It's Billy Starks. And
the super fly guy, Trayvon Jordan.
This is the fly side flyer, Jalen Brandon.
Hardcore Princess, Jules Malone.
Hi there, this is the Bubblegum Princess, Alexia Nicole.
This is the Brazilian Wonder Woman, Christy Jane.
This is the baddest black belt, Chennai Kai.
This is Kid Bandit.
The smash hit Joel Bateman.
This is Robin Renegade.
Cody Hawk.
Brutal Bob Evans. And you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment, one of my favorite podcasts in the whole wide world.
I am Damian Wild, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. I'm, of course, your host, James J., and it's a great day for wrestling, because we are wrestling with Damian Wild.
Hi, James. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Fantastic.
Can you tell us where we'll be seeing you next event-wise?
Yeah, of course. You can see me. It's going to be a pretty busy schedule for the next weeks. I'll be wrestling for the NSPW at Théâtre Le Diamant on November 8th. I will also be wrestling on the regular show for NSPW on November 14th. I will be on Generation Next on November 22. And for those who would be in Shawinigan, I also wrestle for the FCL under another nickname, which is Maître Corbeau, and I will be wrestling there on November 1st. So wherever you want to see me, I will have my merchandise. Either it's for one of my groups that I do at Generation X, the Consortium, or I will also have my merchandise for Red Kingdome, which is my other tag team in NSPW. And I'm always happy to talk with fans.
Perfect. And it's always nice to be busy, no?
Oh, in that business, it's always very nice to be busy. The opposite is quite stressing.
I mean, I could imagine. And where can we find your merchandise online as well?
I don't do online merchandise. It's something I've been asked a couple of times. However, if people want to pre-order stuff, they can reach me on my Instagram. It's Damian Wild _pro wrestler. So if you got any inquiry, any demands, I will gladly help you to get my merchandise.
Perfect. And is that the only social media that you have?
It's not the only social media because, as I said, I'm not only busy, but I'm also in several groups. So if we go on Instagram, there's also Red Kingdome Wrestling, which is it's red.kingdom. It's the group that I work with at NSPW. And you also can search for Damian Wild Pro Wrestler on Facebook and Red Kingdome on Facebook too.
Perfect. And you don't have to go looking for it. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox. Alright, let's get into it. You work for North Shore Pro Wrestling. Can you tell us about your relationship with the company?
Yeah, my relationship with the company is a very good relationship. I've always been associated with North Shore Pro Wrestling since I've started. To be honest with you, I just turned 39 years old, and I started wrestling at 35, so I'm a pretty much late bloomer. I was trained at NSPW Wrestling Academy, which, to be honest, is the best wrestling academy in all the province of Quebec and probably one of the best in Canada. So I've always worked there with the academy. I was associated with them and started wrestling with Generation Next, which is I would say the farm system for NSPW. And I was lucky enough and hardworking enough to be able to work with the big league with NSPW. And I've also started giving some classes to the students approximately 2 months ago at the academy.
What was that experience like, actually, training the next generation?
To be honest, it's something that I really, really love because, well, honestly, my path is not very linear. So I've made a lot of stuff in my life. And when I started university, I started studying as an English teacher. But I finally dropped off to do something else. But at the bottom of myself, in the back of my mind, there was always, I've always liked teaching people and showing stuff and giving my knowledge. So it's that part of me is fulfilled by my position right now at the academy. And also I have to say that when I teach to the younger students, the younger wrestlers, it also helps me getting better, because every time I teach something, it forces me to do it perfectly. So if I want to be a good teacher, I need to do it perfectly. So I need to master all of these stuff I show. So it really helped me a lot.
Now, anybody that knows me knows that I hate asking this question. But I am, genuinely curious. I mean, it's getting into the business at 35. What kind of inspired you at that moment to finally pull the trigger to say, yeah, I'm gonna go for wrestling training?
James, my life is complicated, man. I've always wanted to be a wrestler. I'll say more than that. Sometimes in life, when you're a kid and you grow up, you got some feelings, instincts that you think you're made to do something. And to be honest with you, wrestling was always that thing for me. But when I was younger, we didn't have all the schools, all the opportunities. I'm also 5'8", so at the time, the regular wrestler, basic wrestler, was more like 6 feet tall, 6'2", or they would say they were 6 feet tall. So as a matter of fact, right now, we know that most of them were like 5'9", 5'10", but that's the image I had. So I never pulled the trigger, as you said, and as time passed by, I started my career, made a girlfriend, got married, bought a house, had kids. So life just started, and I decided that it wouldn't be for me. I wouldn't wrestle at all. So I needed to have something happen in my life. I got separated, and we divorced with the mother of my children when I was 35. And to be honest with you, I hit rock bottom. My life was going nowhere. There was a point in my life where I didn't see what I would do with tomorrow. And when I talked with people around me, and I also talked with my psychologist, he looked at me and he said, look, you're someone who's really intense. You're someone who knows what he wants in life. And you cannot just go there and roam and think that you're going to be happy. If you want to be happy, if you want to take your life back, you need to go to your bucket list, go to the top, and do that. So I looked at him and I said, well, I'm not going to become a pro wrestler at 35. And then he looked at me with the biggest, brightest smile, and he said, yeah, that's it. That's what you're going to do, man. And the rest is history. 2 weeks after, I was starting to take some classes, and now here I am.
That's a very inspirational story. You mentioned, you do have kids. What do they think about you being a pro wrestler?
My little boy is, he's 6 years old. So for him, it's still, he doesn't get everything out of it. But my daughter is 9. She's really interested about all the wrestling business, my character and everything and how it works. I had to tell them and explain to them that Damian Wild is not their dad, that it's a character, because when I started, I was a heel, like major heel. I would really tear people down with my words and with my moves. So I needed, if they came to see me, I needed them to understand that it was only a character and it was not me. So I had quite a few discussions with them about that, and I think they pretty much understood it. But yeah, they're interested. They actually, when I got custody of them on Mondays, which is the day that I do the classes. So most of the time I will bring them with me at the school, wrestling school, Wrestling Academy, and would give them a list of homeworks and stuff to do, and then they have time to play, and after that they will go in the ring and play a little bit. They will play Damian Wild or play someone else, and they will get into quite a bit of a little fight in the ring. So they're in it with me.
Oh yeah. And I do have to ask, what are the advantages and disadvantages of starting your pro wrestling career, a bit later than usual?
Well, there's an obvious disadvantage, and it's the time. I cannot think that I'm going to be doing that for 20 years or 25 years. I got to be honest with myself. I got to be realistic. I got a shorter period of time to do that than most people who start younger. And actually, when I started, I was so down in my life. I hit rock bottom, as I told you. I did it only to do one match. I did it to prove myself that I could still do something, and that I could still, accomplish stuff. So my first goal was to do one match, and then you get into it, and you say, well, okay, I want to wrestle on Generation Next, and then it goes well, and you're like, okay, I might be wrestling on NSPW, and then I might expand somewhere else. So for me, I cannot tell you exactly when I want it to end, because it changes every day. I just know that my career is going to be shorter than most of the people I see. However, when I say that, I mean, some people will start at 20, 25 years old, will get injured, and will wrestle only 5 years. So it's also possible that when you're younger, your career will be shorter. But mine, it's a reality, it's for sure. So I got that in the back of my mind. As for the advantages, well, I got the experience, man. I got the experience in life. I've watched pro wrestling since I was 8. I've watched all of the matches. I rewrote the matches. I invented stuff. I thought about my character. I played it 100 times, 1,000,000 times. So that experience, and the fact that I know my limits, I know what I can do, what I can't do, I think it gives me an advantage. And I also know my worth. I know who I am. Sometimes people in their 20s or in their beginning of their 30s, they're still searching for themselves.
Right.
I know exactly who I am, and I know what I'm worth. So I think it's a big advantage.
And I think that is the biggest advantage anybody could have, not just in wrestling, but in general.
Yep.
Now, let's talk about the Red Kingdom. Tell us about your relationship with Azaelle.
Oh, man. Right now, and I don't mean it in the, love relationship way, but right now, Azaelle is the woman of my life. She's the most important woman of my life. I mean, we have a business relationship, which is great. We see eye to eye. We think the same. We are most of the time on the same page. We have a great communication, and we're also great friends. We've been through a lot of stuff together. She helped me a lot, because when you start in wrestling, you can do it alone. I think you can do it alone, but it's very hard. It's a business where there's politics, there's knowledges you need to have, and you won't have it at the beginning. So she decided, one day she came to me when Red Kingdom was not even born. She came to me and she was looking at me. I was trying to help younger wrestlers, even if I was not a teacher yet, but I had the experience. And she came to me and she said, look, I see you helping all of these people, but who's helping you? And I said, well, I don't need help. No one's ever helped me in my life. I've always done everything by myself, so I'll be good. And she didn't give me a choice. She said, no, you don't get it. I'll be helping you. And that's how it started. And honestly, it's one of the best relationships I've had in my life.
Hell yeah. Azaelle, friend of the show as well. So, we love that, the angry red woman.
Yeah, that's also really a character because she's a great person.
That being said, what is a pet peeve about Azaelle that you just don't understand?
What? I'm sorry, I don't get the meaning of what you said. What is a what?
Like a personality quirk that you just don't understand about her?
Honestly, man, we just get each other so much. I mean, probably the only thing I can't understand comes from the fact that she's a woman and I'm a man. So that's probably it. We are on the same page 99% of the time, and I think that's why we do such a great team and such great friends, such a great package. So yeah, if there's something I don't understand from her, it most of the time comes from the fact that she's a woman. And, they're always mysterious men.
Now, talking about, interesting matches you've been in. You've been in a tables match against Judas and Seth Cassidy. Azaelle as your tag partner. What was that experience being in, obviously a very gimmicked match?
It was special. It was very special because, first of all, I hadn't done tables match before, and I've seen tables match in the past where the tables wouldn't break. So that was my first concern. When I arrived at AWE and I knew that I was going to make that match, first thing I did is I checked on the tables. I wanted to make sure that they would break for my own safety, for the safety of everyone, and for the show also. Because, you don't want to see a tables match where the table wouldn't break. So that was my first concern. And I went there, I checked. It was perfect. I wouldn't say exactly how they did it, but it was perfect. So it first of all, that really reassured me. And then I got to know our opponents. These are wonderful guys. I'm friends with them now. We had a great match. So they have experience. They just see a match the way that we see it too. So it clicked right away. It was special. We actually, not only did we have a tables match, but we also fought in the entire theater. Like, we were in the crowd. There was a fan that attacked me. I turned around and I'm like, no, you can't do that. But we were fighting like hell. We were like banging each other with beer cans, with chairs and stuff. And then we went back and we went with the tables match. So it was very, very special. I loved it. And I think the people that were there in AWE really loved the match because we had a great reaction.
Okay. Now, you also wrestled Dexter Doom and Haddy, who are imports from Ontario. What was that experience wrestling, somebody from, another, well, they're not from another state, another borough in Canada?
Another province.
Providence, thank you.
Province.
Yes, a Providence.
Yeah. Well, it it was also very different because it was the first time I wrestled in English. Because, as you know, we call the match and when we prepare it, and where you're in the ring, you need to be in good communication. So that was a big challenge. But also, I think my English is pretty good, but it's not my first language. We are used to call our matches one way in French, and they're used to call their matches in another way in English. And also, Haddy has a hearing problem, so sometimes you just need to make eye contact with him to make sure that we are on the same page. But honestly, these guys are so good. It went very well, and they are real good professionals. So it was a great experience for me, and I would love to do it again against them, or against other people that are English speakers. And it helped me gain confidence knowing that I could wrestle against English speakers.
Is wrestling, because you primarily wrestle in Quebec, is venturing out into other provinces in Canada something you want to do?
Well, as I said, I'm a complicated case. Is it something that I want to do? Yeah. Is it something that I would be able to do? My professional and family situation, that I don't know. I'll be honest, I need to, every time I wrestle, if I have my kids with me, it's always mind-boggling, everything I need to do in order to get to the show, get into my character, be able to do the best match, and also make sure that my kids are all right. So that's something I always need to have in the back of my mind. So it's something I would love to do. I would love to go to other provinces to wrestle. I would love to wrestle in the US, of course, because if I hadn't started it at 35 and if I didn't have a family right now, that's probably something I would like to do. Not necessarily as my main job, but I would like to do it more outside of Quebec, yes.
Hell yeah. And, you mentioned, communicating with them in English. Was that a challenge to, obviously, was the match called in the ring, or was it called, beforehand?
Well, we prepared it before, but there are always surprises, and sometimes you can forget stuff, and so you need to be able to communicate on the spot, and you need to be able to be safe. You need to be able to make sure the match will look good. So we were communicating in the ring, especially with Addy. I think I had more communication with Addy because we started the match together, and the beginning of the match was just chain wrestling. I mean, Haddy is damn great at chain wrestling. It's not my strength, but I think I did my fair share there. But we were communicating because we didn't know what we were doing at the beginning of the match. So we needed to call it in the ring, and it went pretty well. I was very happy about it.
Hell yeah. One might say that, everything went right in that match. That being said, going to something where everything went wrong, and that was Shawn Martel and Kacy Diamond's wedding, which you took part in. Can you tell us about that?
Oh yeah. That moment is one of my favorite moments in my career so far, for several reasons. First of all, well, I know this moment, this segment was the one that landed me a job at FCL as Maître Corbeau. And I didn't know I was going to do it until like 2 or 3 weeks prior to it. So I didn't have much time to prepare, but that's how I roll. I don't like to be too much prepared. I'm used to talking in public. I'm used to do it ad lib. So I just wanted it to feel natural. So when I was asked to do it, I was completely outside of my normal character. I was not Damian Wild. I was Maître Corbeau, which is kind of a crook, lawyer, man of law. We don't know exactly what he does, but he's not right. I mean, he wears a suit, but he's not right in his mind. So they asked me to celebrate the wedding, and Kacy is someone that I think is a great wrestler. She's one of the best wrestlers, female wrestlers in Quebec for like the 20 plus years. And Shawn is also a great wrestler and great friend of mine. I'm very close to him. So I felt really special. And Azaelle was also included in the segment. So I wanted to do it. I was pumped to do it. And we had that segment that was crazy. Like everything fell into place. The crowd was so into it. People were shouting at us. Then they were laughing. They were chanting when Azaelle came in, and then Kacy got her face in the cake. She was going crazy, and then she turned around. She thought Azaelle was there, but it was me. And then she choke slammed me in the cake on the table, which was a door on two chairs, but still it was like a table. So I went through it. I got cake all over myself. We had a blast. We had so much fun. And to be honest, look, I will seem presumptuous, but I think it's one of the best segments of the year as a promo in the province of Quebec. We had so much fun, and we hear about it all the time. So that was great. I loved it.
I would definitely agree. I mean, it's not every... You don't see wrestling weddings on the independent level all that often. So, to see, a wrestling wedding, on the independent level, it's definitely eye-catching for sure.
Yeah, and it was... I mean, the story was so good. I was not involved in FCL at that time, but I would always follow them because I will support Azaelle, which is my partner and good friend. I will support Shawn. So I would just follow their story. And Shawn is so good, man. Azaelle is great. Shawn is so good. He's so funny. They're so good together. Kacy did a great job too. They had that love triangle that went on for months. So to be a part of the conclusion of the story and the way we did it with a bang, that was great. Honestly, I'll remember that for the rest of my life.
Oh yeah. Now, can you tell us about your tag partners in the consortium, Jack Myers and Martin Gerard?
Yeah. I will gladly do that. Actually, right now, the consortium, we are 4 wrestlers. So I'll just explain the way it started. First of all, it started with La Marraine, which is our manager. Basically, she's the boss, okay? She's that mafia-like lady, not with a lot of words, but when she talks, we need to listen. So she started as our manager, me and Jack Myers, as a tag team. And then Martin Lapiace-Girard got introduced in the group. And we had a whole season last year of Generation Next. It's not last year, it's 2 years ago. We had a whole season where we were against Chris Andrews, which is a guy that I love profoundly. He's a good friend. He's a great person. He's a great wrestler, very underestimated. So he finally, at the end, there was a swerve that he joined our group. So he was the godfather behind all of that. So he's like the second after the Marraine. So actually, yeah, we're 4 wrestlers and a manager. But yeah, most of the time at Generation Next, I will wrestle tag team with Jack Myers, who's also someone who's underestimated. The guy is good in the ring. He moves well. He's got some cool moves. He follows my lead, and we're having fun. I know all of the time I know where he is because we've been wrestling for quite a while. So yeah, right now we we are tag team. Well, as I'm talking right now, because we don't know what's going to happen in the future. But as of now, that we're doing this interview, we are tag team champions in Generation Next, and we've been tag team champions for over 230 days now. So we are looking forward to keep on dominating Generation Next.
Quite impressive. And what does it kind of mean to you to hold the Generation Next Tag Team Championships?
You don't see me right now. My eyes are full of tears. It's a great accomplishment. I am from the generation. I think that, and I don't want to talk about anyone else, younger people or anything, but I have eyes to see. I'm from that generation that I had to work hard for everything in my life, and I've never taken anything for granted. So for me, even if in the back of my mind I know what I'm good for, I know what I'm worth, I know who I am, nothing is given in life, and I never thought I would win a belt. So when we won that, it's so far is the greatest accomplishment I have done in my career. I am very proud of being champion of Generation Next Tag Team Champion. I'm very happy for Jack also that had his shot. I mean, he's been wrestling for a longer time than me, and he finally had his shot when we were a tag team. So I'm very happy for him. And quite frankly, Generation Next is just getting better and better. The kids, the athletes that get out of the academy are so good. They're so good. It's just the competition is great. The show is great too. It's improving month after month. So we got a big target on our backs. So I'm very, very proud of being champion.
Winning those championships, is that a moment you take in the moment, or is it something that kind of sets in afterwards, like, wow, I did this?
Being who I am, being the age I am, having my personality, I always try, every time I do a match, to be as much as I can in the moment. Because I know for a fact, by experience, that nothing is granted in life, and nothing is for sure. So I'm trying really to live by the moment when I'm in a ring. So yeah, as soon as we did the count, the 1, 2, 3, and the belts were handed to us, I already felt it in myself. I was so proud. I felt I was filled with joy, and when I lifted the belt in the air, it was one of the greatest moments of my life. So yeah, I realized it more after, because then the adrenaline goes down, and then you look at it and you're like, okay, it's really mine. I did it, but I also lived it in the moment.
Hell yeah. Now I do have to ask, obviously you're a part of the Red Kingdom with Azaelle, and you're part of the consortium as well. Is that kind of a conflict of interest, being a part of two factions?
I think some people see it that way, but I don't. As I said, I'm a special creature. I'm 39. I don't have 20 years old to tell my story. I got a limited amount of time, and as I said, some people might not agree. We all have the right to have our own opinions, but some people told me in the past, you know what, it's the wrestling business is like multiverse. So you would wrestle for one company, you can do X, and then you wrestle for another one, you will do Y, and then you will do Z. So that's what I took, and that's how I do it. So basically, my character, I've written it. It's very detailed. I've got a story about him, approximately 10 pages. And there's a story I want to tell. And there's a story I think I need to tell. So for me, the Damian Wild that is wrestling in Generation Next with the Consortium is not the same Damian Wild who is wrestling in NSPW for Red Kingdom. And it's also not the same character as Maître Corbeau, who is wrestling in FCL, which is the prequel. So basically, everything in my head, everything falls in order. Maître Corbeau is the prequel. Damian Wild in Generation Next is the bad guy, the guy that lost faith and lost contact with his feelings. And the Damian Wild is NSPW, is a later version of Damian Wild, which is someone who started trying to feel again, trying to connect with people again. So for me, there's no conflict of interest. It's just one whole big story that I want to tell people.
It's actually a really interesting way of seeing it. 3 different versions in 3 different times in his life. Quite impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I said, if I was 22 years old, 24, I would probably do it differently and try maybe to focus more on one version at a time. But I wrote the story. It took me years, man. I've been thinking about that story since I'm 8 years old. So I think it's pretty interesting, and I want to have time to tell the story to people of Quebec as much as I can. So that's the way I found to do it.
Now, keeping on the Consortium, you had an 8-man no disqualification match against Ali, Chris Andrews, Happy Applewood, and Shirley Temple. Could you tell us about that match? All members present.
Yeah, it was actually the match where we did the swerve, where Chris Andrews became the godfather of the Consortium. So yeah, it was a pretty brutal match. And honestly, if you want me to talk about my opponents and give you a little feeling of how I felt having a match with them, that's it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm going to take them one by one because they're all different people, very interesting people. Shirley Dutemps is someone I grew pretty close from. When we did the match, she didn't have a lot of experience, and she did so good. She was involved in our rivalry approximately at the middle of the season, and she caught up so quickly. The girl was so good with the crowd. I loved working with her. To be honest, right now, I know she had a knee injury, and I'm not sure if she's going to wrestle ever again, which is heartbreaking for me because she's such a great person. She was such a good wrestler and able to connect with the crowd. But she did a great job. She did very, very good job. Ali is someone that's, man, she's so surprising. She's a surprise box. You don't know what you're gonna get from Ali. She's got the look, the vibe of I don't know if it's Liv Morgan. I don't know if it's I don't know. It's something like that. She's so special. You don't know anything about her. You just don't turn your back on Ali. And it was good. It was nice working with her because she's also very good at connecting with the crowd, and she's improving very, very fast. So I think she's also a great performer, a great person too. And Happy Applewood, he's not wrestling anymore. So I think we ended his career. So if I'm in character right now, I will tell you that we kicked his ass so much that we ended his career. But to be honest with you, he knew it was his last match. Happy is also someone very special. He's got autism, and working with him, because we worked with him almost the whole season. Working with him was very special because he would get so nervous about stuff that sometimes the only way I would find to get him less nervous was to tell him, "Hey, Happy, what? It's happening now." Then he would look at me and say, "What is happening now?" And I said, "Tonight, we do the top rope Spanish fly. And then he would look at me and like, you go crazy, you're crazy, man, we don't do that. And then he will forget why he was so nervous. And then we were able to talk about the match. But yeah, he trusted me, he trusted us, so it was very fun. And he was so happy that he could give me a shot of a kendo stick. Like after the match, he had that big smile. So it was great. It was violent. It was great.
All right. Now, I think it's time for Damian's Bizarre Adventure. You're a pro wrestler that goes up and down the roads, and weird, crazy, and bizarre things are bound to happen. Can you tell us a road story that fits that description?
You caught me off guard on this one. Yeah, I can tell you one. I got one in mind, which is actually pretty cool. It's bizarre, but it's cool, okay? There was a show that we did here on the south side of the city of Quebec. And the promoter, Steve, asked me to be there as a member of the consortium. And I said, I can't be there. I got my kids. I got no one to take care of them tonight, and they're tired. I can do it. And he's like, oh, please, I want you to be there. Just do not be in the match. Just be there and come interfere. And it was also involving Happy Applewood. He was in his home time at the time. And he was like, I just want you guys to come and attack him after the match, and then I will come and make the save. Because at the beginning, Happy Applewood and Stephen Sullivan were having a match, and then he would come and help him later. So I'm like, okay, let me see. I'm going to try to find someone. So I finally find a babysitter, but she's like, okay, you got like 2 hours. I need to go back home. Not more than that. So I say, no, it's okay. I'm not going to be fighting. So I'll be there early. Don't worry about it. But I still take my stuff because, I need to do an... Yeah, and I need to do an interference. So I'm going to do it in my character. So I bring my bag. I bring my stuff. So I arrived there, I opened the door backstage, and I see Martin Lapiace-Girard, which is also a member of Consortium, and he was not supposed to be there. So I look at him, and I'm like, what are you doing here? I came here because you were not here, and they needed someone to attack. So I paid a babysitter for nothing. I was kind of mad. And he was just laughing, because Martin's a good guy, and he likes to laugh. So he was laughing. He's like, don't worry, man. We're going to do it together. It's going to be fun. So I'm there. So might as well have fun and do the best of it. So I get changed, and then Steve comes to me, and he's like, if Happy's tripping up during the match, I will make a sign, and you just come earlier and attack him, and we're going to do ad-lib. Okay, so that's it. So I wait. Their match is going on, and they finally finish it. Happy did a good job. They had a good match. The crowd was really into it. So Stephen Sullivan leaves the ring, and then that's our cue to attack. So we just come out. The whole consortium will come out, and we just attack Happy, and we just bang him and hit him with chops and hit him with kicks. And then Stephen Sullivan comes back, and he comes make the save. There's a feel-good moment, and everyone is happy, and that's the end of the show. Or so we thought, because we are there looking at him, and we just go back to the locker room, like walking backwards and stuff. But I got eye contact with Steven, and he keeps looking at me, and he's got that grin in his face and weird eyes that I've never seen before. And then I see him take a mic, and then he looks at me, and he just nods at me, and he smiles. So I'm like, what's going on? I turn to Martin, who's a veteran. I mean, he's been doing that for 20 years. And he looks at me and he says, I think we're going to fight. I said, what? We're not going to fight. I've been doing that for like a year and a half. I don't know what to do. We need to plan stuff. We just don't go there and fight. And then Martin said, well, wait, we'll see. And then Stephen Sullivan takes the mic, and he looks at us, and he's like, well, you guys there's 3 of you. There's 2 of us. There's Michel Plante, which is selling merchandise, and he's in like I don't know, man. He's not dressed anymore. I don't even think he's got shoes in his feet. He's like, there's 3 of you, there's 3 of us. Let's just fight. Because the show was a little short, so he wanted to give everyone their worth of money. So he just looked at us and we accepted. So we had to do a match at the end of that show. I was not supposed to fight. I was not in a state of mind to fight. My babysitter was so mad at me because I got home like an hour later what I said. But we had such a great match. It was so fun. We just did it ad lib, and that was great. Honestly, that's one of my best stories ever.
Oh yeah, definitely a crazy adventure that was turned out pretty positive.
Oh yeah, but that was crazy. Trust me, when he said that we were gonna fight, my heart was racing. And I'm not someone who's nervous. Normally, I'm pretty confident, but at that time, I didn't really know what to do. It was so much fun.
Now I think it's time for the colossal question. Let's say that they're making a movie about you. Every movie has a soundtrack. What would be the first 3 songs on your movie soundtrack?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I will say, let me just check just to make sure I got the right name for it.
Mm-hmm. Pull up on Spotify.
The Greatest Show. Yeah, the Greatest Showman. Yeah, that's actually one of my songs that I use most of the time. Let me just see, Jonathan. I think it's Jonathan Young though, because there's the original version. Yeah, The Greatest Show by Jonathan Young. That's one of the songs that I used to do my entrance, so it has to be in the movie.
Okay.
At the end of the movie, there has to be at the part where I'm about to lose everything and then I do my big comeback. Not Enough by Our Lady Peace. And let me see. Let me just think about it because there's one missing. Yeah, I think that my first song that I used for my entrance when I started wrestling, Bring Me to Life, also from Jonathan Young, would be in the movie. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a solid.
And if there's a fourth one, if there's a part that is really sad or a love part or something, Lightning Crashes by Live needs to be there too.
Okay. Well, a solid 4 picks. Now that we have the soundtrack down, everybody knows you get the soundtrack first, then you write the script, and then you go to casting. Who plays you, and you can't say yourself because you are obligated to make a Stan Lee-esque cameo.
Oh man, I would love it to be Jack Black because he's so funny, but it doesn't fit with me. I know because I've listened to the interview that you've done with Azaelle, and I loved her idea of having Drew McIntyre play me. So I would say either Drew McIntyre or Jason Momoa. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and we know that Drew McIntyre is going to be in the next Highlander movie, so I mean he has acting chops now. So, yeah, it works perfect.
It would be an honor if you would do that for me.
Now that we have you casted, every movie has a supporting cast. Who's 3 people significant to you in your story that would be in your movie, and who would play them?
Azaelle needs to be there.
Of course.
That's not even a question. And you know what? I have it at the top of my head right now, and maybe it's not a good casting, but I think it would be. Although I've never seen her with red hair, I think it would be great. I think about Adele, like the singer Adele, because when she sings, she's so strong, so powerful, so meaningful. She reminds me of Azaelle, and Azaelle sings very, very well too. So, yeah, I think Adele would be a great person to play her.
Okay, we're dyeing Adele's hair red.
Yeah. And I don't have right to have anyone playing their own role, because the next one would definitely have to be himself.
And that is?
Shawn Martel would have in the movie too, but he needs to play himself. He's so good. I mean, today I've seen one of the promos he has done for FCL. He has already done one like a week before, but the new one that went out today, that guy is so good. He's so good. He's a great wrestler. He looks good. He's got charisma, but he's also a great actor. So I think for him, he really, really needs to play himself. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God, who would be the last one? You said 3, right?
Yes, correct.
Do they need to be wrestlers?
It doesn't have to be a wrestler. Just somebody significant in your life.
Well, you know what? I think I'm not going to name a wrestler because Shawn and Azaelle are probably the two which I'm closest to, but I'm so close to a lot of people, so I wouldn't want anyone to be mad or be sad because I didn't include them. But yeah, I think I would include, and I don't want to do that with my friends either, because to be honest with you, I got the greatest friends in the world. They're always there. They're always supporting me. They're always challenging me. They're a big part of my story, but there's so many of them that I would not want to hurt any of them by not naming their names. So I will say my mom.
Okay.
I will say my mom, because although she is dead right now, she's not with me physically, but she is one of the main reasons why I'm able to do that. And I'm always drawing her initials on my hand or on my wrist whenever I do a match. And she would be my greatest supporter. She gave me so much. She's the most important person in my whole life. So yeah, I think my mom would have to be there somewhere, probably at the beginning of the story, when we see me as a child playing with my mini ring and mini wrestlers, and she's just supporting me in my dream and helping me with all the sports I want to do and following me and giving me all the love that I needed and making the parent that I am today. So yeah, the third person would have to be my mom.
And who's playing your mom?
That is a great question. She doesn't look anything like her, but I like the grit and the silent power that this actress has. So I would cut her hair short, put her blonde, and probably ask Jamie Lee Curtis to do my mom.
Okay. Well, this is sounding like a great movie, a blockbuster to say the least, and you could pre-order the tickets now.
That would be nice.
Now, onto a controversial subject. Pineapple on pizza. What's your stance?
Oh my God. Unless you're a psychopath, no. But you know what? Damian is kind of a psychopath, so maybe he takes some pineapple on his pizza.
So, we're leaning very anti-pineapple on pizza.
Oh no, I'm way more of a meat guy on pizza. Pineapple, it doesn't belong there. I mean, fruit salad, yeah, cake, maybe alone, yeah, but on a pizza, no, never. Although I really like trying new things, I would try it, but I've tried it like 10 years ago and it was disgusting. But maybe today I could like it, but I will still say no.
Okay. What's your spirit Pokemon?
Oh, oh, that's such a good question. You know what? I honestly, my son used to watch Pokemon all the time. There's one Pokemon, I don't know his name, but he's like pretty square and made with rocks. He's like very rock solid. I don't know his name, but that has to be him. And people told me that all the time. I just don't remember his name. I'm sorry about it.
A rock Pokemon that's square.
Well, not square, but I mean he's like built. He's muscular. I just don't remember his name.
I mean, I'm more into the OGs, so I'm thinking Geodude.
That's possible. I'll be honest with you. This one I can't help you more than that. I would have to stop, go take a look on the internet. So I don't know. I don't know honestly.
I mean, it could be Machamp as well.
Is that the one with the boxing gloves?
No, that's the one where he's like the wrestler Pokemon. Like he has
Oh,
four
yeah.
arms.
Oh yeah, that's probably him I was talking about. Yeah.
Okay. Weirdest question. Well, actually, let's backtrack a second. You are a Canadian from Canada, so I do have two Canadian exclusive questions for you. The first one being, poutine. Where's the best place to get it?
Oh my God, best place to get poutine. Well, that's probably the one I make. But if you want, yeah, but if you want to buy it, because I'm a huge poutine fan. If I do a great match, I will treat myself with a poutine right after. That's like my treat. I'm sorry. I think the best place in the city of Quebec to have poutine would be Poutsineville, which means poutine city, because you got so many kinds of poutine there. They also do that poutine with they take the fries, okay, they put it in the fryer, and then they will take them out before they're ready. They will smash them and then put them back in the fryer. So you got more frying on the potato, and it's so good. And you got all of the toppings you want. So I think, yeah, you're able to find the best poutine in the city of Quebec there.
But how are you making it? Because you said that you make your own poutine.
Oh, the secret is in the sauce. I can't tell you, but my sauce is special. I use a special special little spicy sauce that I put into it. So that's why I'm saying that. And also, I got my whole technique where you need to put your poutine in a plate that is covered up for an exact amount of time, just to make sure that your cheese is not melted, but it's soft. So yeah, it's just technique, man. I can't tell all my secrets.
Is this a family recipe, or is this something you came up with yourself?
No, it's not a family recipe. Although I love my mom with all the love that's possible, she was a terrible cook. I used to hate what she did, but I loved her so much and I love eating, so it was okay. But no, I've learned to cook by myself, self-trained, and from what people around me say, I'm a pretty good cook. So no, it's something that I've tried and missed a lot of times, but then I found the great recipe.
I gotcha. Now, the second question is Canada's greatest national treasure Ryan Reynolds?
No, but he's a good Canadian treasure. I like the guy. I like what he does. I think he's a pretty complete actor. And you know what? If Shawn didn't play himself in my movie, he would be good to play Shawn. Yeah, but he's good. He's very good. I like him.
If Ryan Reynolds isn't, who is Canada's greatest national treasure?
Well, would have to be either Wayne Gretzky or Mario Lemieux. Or I could even say Chris Jericho, because I know there's part of him when he says he's now in the U.S., but he still is a Canadian. So I'm more of a sports guy than I am a movie guy. So it has to be one of these guys.
I gotcha. All right. Weirdest question you'll be asked on a wrestling interview, hopefully. Would you ever consider wrestling a Rock? Not Dwayne Johnson, not the country, an actual physical Rock.
Yeah. Without even hesitating. Because I think it's Al Snow that said that. In order to be a great wrestler, you need to be able to wrestle a broom.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if I had to wrestle a Rock, I would do it in a heartbeat, and I would give you the match of the night. So, yeah, I would do it, and I would use that opportunity to prove how good I am. So, yeah, of course.
Well, just for context, there is a wrestler named Psycho Mike that indeed wrestled a Rock for over 15 minutes in a Tungsten Man match. That's an Iron Man match that lasts for 2 weeks.
That's great. I didn't know that. I'm going to go and watch it.
I can send it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, of course.
On a more serious note, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Where I see myself in 5 years, if I count well, that means I'm going to be 44. I still see myself wrestling. I'm playing it year by year because I just want to see how my body goes, because I don't want to be one of the Ric Flair guys that goes there and is just too old to do it and just doesn't realize it. So, but yeah, I still see myself wrestling in 5 years. At that point, I wish that we will have collected at least one NSPW Tag Team Championship with Red Kingdome. I also wish that maybe we had another run as Tag Team Champions in Generation Next. I also wish I will be able to have a singles run in Generation Next and be the Generation Next champion, because that company is very important to me. And I don't know more than that. In FCL, I also think in 5 years from now, I will be able to touch probably the minor and major belt. And I also want to keep instructing young wrestlers at NSPW Academy and going further into that. I also want to keep being implicated into backstage of NSPW, which is a company that I love. So yeah, that's basically where I see myself in 5 years. And who knows, it may be I'm going to be a singles wrestler at that time in NSPW and I'm going to be in contention for a title. I don't know, but at least I want us to have our tag team belts at least one time, maybe two, 5 years from now.
Hell yeah. Now, what is a match people should go out of their way to see that best shows off you as a pro wrestler?
I got two in mind. One of them is available on IWTV, so it's going to be easier for people in the public. And it's a match that we have made in the month of August, Red Kingdome against Michael Styles and Lou O'Farrell. Mm-hmm. It was in my mind, it was a great match. We had so much fun. The wrestling was there. I had to do a promo before the match, which is something I love. The promo was good. Michael Style came out and did what he does, so he did a good promo too, and we had so much fun. We had a good chemistry, and we were actually celebrating 1 year of the first match we did against each other at that time, so it was special. It was really fun, and really enjoyed it. I think that's a match people should go see. The other one, unfortunately, is not available on IWTV. People would have to contact me for me to send them the match, but it was the most special match I've done in my life because I was lucky enough to face Pee-wee when he was an SPW champion, and I had to do it in my hometown in a show that we organize every year. So yeah, we were in the main event of the show for the NSPW title in front of more than 500 people, and the match lasted like 23 minutes, and it was great. I loved it so much.
You said that people could contact you to get that match?
Well, there's if someone's really interested in seeing it, I'm pretty sure I could find a way to have people seeing the match. Since it's a house show, it's a spot show, it's not public, it's not there, but I'm pretty sure if someone asked me to see it and I see fit and I think it's important, I would talk to the promoter and take arrangement with him, because it was a great match. I mean, not only the match, but maybe you need a little background to understand. But at that time, I'm someone who I really love wrestling, but I really love the story around it. And when we learned that we were going to face off, me and Pee-wee are good friends, and he was really thrilled. I was really thrilled. He was really happy to do it in my hometown. He was really happy to give me a shot at the title. But then we decided that we were going to do it, not just a match, but we were going to do something about it. We were going to get a rivalry within weeks. So he made a promo on the internet, and he was calling me out. I made a promo saying actually pretty real stuff, pretty deep stuff, saying that for him, being the champion of NSPW was just one of his 1,000 accomplishments. And for me, it was a necessity. It was a reason to live. So he would have to basically leave me in the ring, not breathing, for him to win. So it became very personal. And that night, and I was okay with it, by the way. We were talking backstage, so I'm just going to say it. I came to him and I said, you know what? You should call me out tonight, and you should talk about my dead mom. Because everyone knows my mom in the village, and she was very well known. She was very well liked, and she had a tragic accident. So I said, you know what? Just let's push it further and just do it. And I'm going to react, and it's going to be so great. People will hate you. And he was not sure at first. He asked me like 4 times, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm like, you know what? For me, it's a way for her to be in the main event. It's a way for me to keep her alive, to keep her with me, and have her live my dream with me. So yes, please do it. And he did it. So we had a very emotional match. At the beginning of the match, we had the face-off, because the crowd in Saint Michel, which is my hometown, they go crazy when we go there, and they really love me, and it's great. I love them too. So at first, we had the stare-off, a little bit like Hogan Rock WrestleMania, where we would just stare at each other and then look at the crowd slowly, let them breathe in, and then look on the other side. And then we started fighting with everything we had for 23 minutes. So it was very special.
Okay, I was, so it's not like on YouTube on private. Somebody would actually have to upload the video, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I got it. And yeah, people would have to ask me, and I would also have to ask for permission. But I think in the right context, probably, yeah, it would be okay.
And the other match is on IWTV, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It was in the show that we made for NSPW in August. So yeah, it's pretty easy to find.
Perfect. And you could go and fire up your IWTV subscription and check that out for sure.
Yeah, and actually, I invite people to subscribe to IWTV. There's everything we do with NSPW, but there's also other great wrestling companies, so it's really worth it.
Absolutely. And for anybody that hasn't seen it, wants to see it, wants to re-see it after this interview. And since we are nearing the conclusion of this interview, we are wrestling with the 8 questions of doom.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is our speed round, our bonus round, the round where we see who you really are. Are you ready?
I don't think so, but I will also answer anyways.
Excluding yourself, greatest wrestler of all time.
Without the shadow of a doubt, Shawn Michaels.
Worst wrestler.
Oh my, worst wrestler. Okay. I would have to be Shane McMahon.
Shane McMahon. Okay.
Yeah. I hated how he wrestled. I hated his elbow drop, which was like a wrist drop. I never understood. Yeah.
I gotcha. You're main eventing WrestleMania for the World Championship. Who is your opponent?
Has to be someone who's wrestling right now.
Anybody.
Well, the obvious answer has to be Shawn Michaels because he's Mr. WrestleMania and he's my favorite wrestler of all time. But I would probably also want to go for the streak against The Undertaker if it hadn't been done before.
Okay. If you could come out to anyone's entrance music, past or present, who would it be?
Probably has to be Edge.
Which one?
The Metalinguist, the one he has for like the last 15 years.
Okay. Finish the sentence. Kayfabe is
the greatest thing on earth, and it shouldn't be dead, and I think it's not entirely.
You would have also accepted. Tastes great on toast. Squash. Vegetable or fruit?
Fruit?
Yes, it is indeed a fruit. It has seeds. Tomato logic.
That was a hard one.
New Japan wrestler Taichi. His ring gear gets smaller every year, revealing more of himself to the world. My question, what is the appropriate trunks to butt cheek ratio for ring gear?
Oh my god. You're talking for me personally?
Generally, I usually say.
I think it has to go with everyone taste. I'm really more of a live and let live guy. I mean, if you want to have your butt cheeks exposed and you feel good about it and you feel confident and that's part of your persona, I don't mind. Personally, I wrestle with long tights and I wouldn't feel comfortable having my butt cheeks hanging out, although I do receive some compliments about my butt cheeks because I'm a pretty cheeky guy. So,
Right, so basically to each their own. If they want to sexy Eddie it, they can.
Yeah.
Right, and the last question, the main event, the thing everybody wants to know. Have you ever had a conversation with a stranger in a supermarket about Darby Allin?
No. And I would never do that because I am really not a Darby Allin fan. I don't like his wrestling. I don't get it. I'm way more of a storyteller, so that would be pretty short as a conversation.
And that's the correct answer. And that will conclude this interview. Thank you so much for coming on and doing this with me.
It was a great pleasure. Honestly, I had a blast, and I thank you for your time. I thank all of your listeners for their time when they listen to that.
The pleasure is all mine. And once again, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, social media would be Damian Wild _pro wrestler. You can also check at red.kingdome, and that's all on Instagram, and it's the same handles on Facebook. So, and you can also just do the research on Facebook, and you will find us pretty easily.
Perfect. And you don't have to type it into your Google machine. All of the links to all his social media will be in the description of the video below, but on YouTube and Castbox, simply click the link. A new tab will appear on whatever device you are on. You have no excuse. Give him a damn follow and buy a damn shirt. Of course, thank you for listening. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, but on YouTube and Castbox. This was sponsored by Rogue Energy as we enter year 5 of pro wrestling interviews, and I believe year 7 of the show as a whole. So yeah, of course, thank you for listening. Whether this was your first interview or 400 and whatever number we're on right now, lots of interviews. Just thank you for listening. Of course, join us every Tuesday and Wednesday for new incredible interviews, and follow the show at Wrestling with E, but on Extra and Instagram for information on who we're interviewing, when we're interviewing them, links to those interviews, and so much more. Follow me personally at JamesJ993. Alright, when I say wrestling wit, you say entertainment, okay?
Okay.
For our special guest, Damian Wild, Kaliko Yacht, Scooter Dust, I'm James J, and this has been Wrestling with
Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.